Welcome to the final part of the tutorial for Sparkster for Sega Genesis. I started working on this game before I knew how to combine videos, so it ended up being divided into 3 parts. And I figured I would get back in this game to clean out my backlog because I have some playthroughs I started but I never finished them, so I killed this game off today just to complete it. And I definitely have some more on my YouTube channel, that I never got around to completing, and they're several part long, playlists of several videos. But now what I usually do is I'll, put all the videos in a folder, and I won't post the game until I've completed the entire game, and then I'll combine all the sections and add commentary and all that. But what I used to do is I used to just post the videos as I made progress in these old games. I would post the videos. Now I really only do that for for longer games, like modern games. I'll post in parts because they're so long. But a game like this really doesn't take that long to beat. It's only about 33 minutes. But yeah, it's a great game. It's considerably easier than the one on Super Nintendo, the Sparkster on Super Nintendo, which is actually a completely different game. A lot of times different ports of games back then were just completely different games on the different systems. They weren't, identical games, but on different hardware. They were actually totally different. So this is a good example of that. I think Rocket Knight may also be a different game on both Genesis and Super Nintendo, but I'm not sure about that one. I can't remember. This part's annoying because, this is not the kind of game design I like, where it's like you just got to keep going in these little warp pipes, and you have to destroy all the fan blades. But if the moving metal part isn't facing you, you can't chop away at the fan blade because you won't be able to hit it. So you just have to keep going through these pipes until you see, like, that one's not facing the right way, so I wouldn't be able to hit that. So it's like trial and error of just going through all these fucking pipes again and again. It took me, I think I died once or something because I fell in a hole, but the main issue is that you're just going to be spending a lot of time just going through all these pipes, and I didn't have a quick way to do this. I only show my first completion of a section in my tutorials. But this one is not going to make for a good tutorial because I didn't know where the fuck I was going, so I pretty much just wandered around aimlessly for a while. I really prefer the straight out action types of sequences and stuff like that. I never liked shit like this. But it is something that you have to deal with, to beat a lot of games. A lot of old games did have like some maze bullshit or something, and I didn't check a video to see where to go or anything in this part. I looked over a video, but I didn't remember, where to go or anything like that. So I just started fucking around, and eventually you should get it, if you go through enough of these pipes. But the game, yeah, it's a pretty, I guess you could say it's a moderate game. I think it's kind of easy for an older game. But it's a lot of fun. It's a great game. It seems like the game does have limited continues, but it also has passwords, which I think the passwords actually save how many lives and continues you had remaining when you got the password. But you have to, quit the game completely to get the password, I believe. And it just seems like kind of like bullshit, because you could just practice the level and then go back to your old password where you didn't lose any continues. And, just clear the stage that way, and then your next password wouldn't have any continues missing. So I don't really understand the point of that. It just seems like a tedious type of thing just to waste time of inputting passwords and all kinds of bullshit. So when I played, I just saved state when I got to the levels. I didn't deal with the whole password system or anything. But even if I did have to deal with limited continues, it wouldn't matter because once I learned the stages, I was pretty much fine with the stages. Most of the stages are very easy once you know what to do. So I would have no problem going through this game on limited continues if I had to, but it just seems like kind of a bullshit setup. Castlevania Bloodlines for Genesis also did that with the password saving how many continues you had remaining and things like that. But it's kind of pointless, like I said, because, you know, you could just load that original password, and then once you learn the level, you could just go through the next level without losing that continue. So there's really not much of a purpose to it that I can see. But yeah, at this point, I'm just rambling on because, like I said, I think I spent like 5 minutes on this attempt just going through these fucking pipes. What's weird, though, is that if you fall down too low, you can fall out of the level, but it's pretty easy to avoid that most of the time. Sometimes you get blindsided because you can't see where you're falling, so it's a little annoying. Mostly there's blocks in the way that prevent you from falling, but if you explore too much down there, you can fall. I think the bombs will blow up some of the blocks when the bombs are chasing you. I think that's what happens. So you can't chop through there. You got to have like the gray metal facing you. That moving part has to be facing you for you to destroy them. But there's also, when I watched a video of this level, there was an extra part inside the actual ship. I don't even know how you access that, or if it's because I wasn't collecting the sword items that you have to get, or what. But for whatever reason, I never had to go inside the ship. I just went straight to the boss after this. So I'm not sure, you know, I mean, because there's like a whole section inside the ship that's pretty long, so I don't know why I didn't get it, but I was glad because, like, you know, I was just trying to beat the game, so I didn't care about playing an extra section. Yeah, this boss is very easy. You just have to understand how it works. Whenever he shoots his skulls at you in a straight line, just use your spinning in place move. It's basically like a dodge. You'll be invincible whenever you dash or whenever you spin in place. You spin in place by just standing there and pressing the dash button and not pressing a direction. So, and then when he turns into all these little guys, you got to look for the little guy that's shining. He'll have a little glistening on him. See, like that. You have to hit that glistening one, and then it'll make him vulnerable. He'll turn in, you know, then you'll be able to hit the boss. I recommend hitting him when he descends down. As he's coming down, start your charge and hit him, and so you get an easy 3 hits on him that way per cycle. So that's what I recommend for that. Use that invincible roll to dodge these. It's better than the dash, because the dash you go all over the screen, and it can make it kind of messy. So I'd recommend using the spin in place. Same thing here. Just try to hit him when he's glistening. You might, I didn't get it that time. You're not going to always be able to get it easily, but he just does pretty much the same shit for the most part again and again. He's a very easy boss once you know that. I died on him, I think, maybe once or twice because I didn't know how to make him appear. So I was fighting him for a very long time, and I couldn't get him to come out in his vulnerable form. But I didn't know I had to hit the glistening little guy. I didn't understand that that's what the game wanted me to do. So once I looked it up, then I beat him very quickly. It's very easy. Even the final boss is quite easy. So there's really not anything that challenging. If you've played, through a few platformers before, then you shouldn't have a problem with this game. So yeah, that ends that stage. I may also do a Castlevania tutorial for the one on NES, because that Grim Reaper section in that hallway in that one level is a huge trouble spot for a lot of people that prevents them from beating the game, so I may try to show that without any, without the holy water and without all the, the items that you're supposed to have for that part. It's a lot harder when you don't, and it's pretty random, but it can be beaten. That's how I beat it without those items, because I didn't know how to bring them into that area, or I wasn't doing well enough to bring them over. So this is more of a fun stage. This one is very easy. I think I died once or twice, but no, I think just once. But yeah, all you have to do is you press up and down to make your arm go up and down, and then you press I think it's A to punch, and that's it. You just aim your fist and punch everything. When you're punching the big guys, keep in mind that you can't hurt them when they're flashing, obviously. So after you hit them, you can't try to hit them again real fast. Gotta wait till they're done flashing before you try to hit them again. I mean, it's basic information, but, if you try to play it too sloppily and try to keep hitting them, you'll just get hit. You want to try to keep, every time you hit them, you move them back. So you want to try to keep the enemies back. A little bit of crowd control, So now the controls change a little bit. Now when you press the punch button, you do a jump and you come down with your foot. So you want to, like, it's good to wait for the, it's slow to respond. It's good to wait when the bombs are about to come out and then hit it and then just press right so that you come down on top of the guy. And that's how you kill these guys. Very easy. It won't take you too long probably to get a feel for these, for the way this plays. The controls will change again when the boss fight starts. But I found a very easy method for the boss, extremely easy, where there's no reason to take damage at all. And I'll be able to show that because I figured it out a little bit late in the fight, but once I start doing it, you'll see exactly what you have to do. Yeah, so now you get that up arrow, which means now you're going to be using your punches again. So same thing. Try to punch the barrels when they show up. They may have power-ups, because one time I got, that floating barrel. But one time I got all my health back somehow. I don't know if I got it from a barrel or what, but somehow I got my health replenished. So I'm guessing it might be random. It was probably in one of those barrels, but I'm not sure. But yeah, same thing here. You know, you want to try to push the larger enemies back and deal with the smaller ones, take them out. And if you get your timing down, you know, you shouldn't take too much damage on this. It wouldn't be hard to beat these guys without getting hit at all, really. It's not too tough. Yes, occasionally, you know, they can easily get close to you, so you got to be a little careful, but I think now is like a mini boss, I believe, yeah. So for this guy, all you got to do is punch these things he sends out, and it'll send it back to him. So, you know, just stay all the way in the back if you can, so you got more room to dodge. You know, the more you could go farther back than I am, right? That I just was. You know, then you got to move forward for when he does this. Just move forward and stay here when he moves in the back area, and now move back again. See, you want to go. You could go all the way back, pretty far back, and that's what I ended up doing. I think later because it makes it easier to dodge these things that to hit these things that he fires out. It gives you more room, so you're not like right on top of the projectiles when they come out. You know, I did take some damage. I was getting close to death, but yeah, very easy. Then move forward again, and you know the bombs will go off behind you. They won't hit you if you're all the way forward. And you just keep repeating. You know, you go forward, then you go back, you go forward, back, and you just hit the projectiles when they're in front of you. And that's it. Very easy boss. And after you hit them enough times, it'll tell you to move forward. I don't know if you can fuck up that part, and then you just run into that pillar. And now you get your life back, I believe. So I guess I didn't edit out this pause screen. I should have checked over the video, I guess. But yeah, this part's very easy. All you have to do is block, right? There's a button that blocks. I don't remember which one it is, but you'll see when he holds his hands up like that, he's blocking. So hold one of the buttons to block, and then just do a straight punch right after you block. I think at first he may just punch you. You may not be able to do that. See, you block the missile, and then if you punch him immediately, you'll get a hit. I figured that out a little bit late. You'll see me do it because he was blocking my punches and like hitting me at first because I figured this out my first time playing this boss. So, you know, I was learning as I was playing. And so all you really have to do, I think I figured out. Yes, you block, and then just do a straight punch. If you do it fast enough, you'll get the hit in. It seems. So you'll see me do it. I think you can just. I probably could have done this from the beginning, but I was, learning as I was playing. I didn't know what the game wanted me to do. But you'll see. I get into a rhythm with it eventually. Yeah, and I'm still doing it too slow. I didn't realize that you have to punch like immediately after you block to get it to work. I don't know if it was something that I just found or if that's what you're supposed to do, but yeah, see, I go up to him. If I go up to him and try to punch him as soon as I can after blocking, I get the hit. See, I was a little far that time, so it didn't land, but when I'm closer, it seems to always land. Eventually, you should, be getting the hits and eventually wear them down. Even if it takes long, I think you'll win by doing this. I guess I didn't get into the rhythm yet because it's taking longer than I remember. But I think toward the end, I get like, I land all the hits at some point. I don't know if it was just luck or what, but still all you have to do is block and then do a straight punch. The straight punch is one of the buttons. I'm not sure which button. But yeah, see, eventually he goes down. It's very easy. You don't have to take any damage because all you do is just block the missile and then punch him. Very easy. Not the fastest fight for me, but I guess if I practiced it more, that was my first time playing it, so I didn't really know the best way to do it. This is the final actual stage. After this, there's a stage 6, but it's just the last bosses. So this is going to be the last stage, and I didn't find it to be tricky. I beat it, pretty quickly. It didn't take me too much time to beat. I did practice it with states because I failed on the first continue. But as you saw, you have to destroy all those heads to open those gates, which is pretty, I'm sure you saw me do it. Then you got to jump on top of the button and it opens the gate. You'll have to do that a few times to open some gates. Even if you take some damage in some of these sections, you do get health pickups, fairly frequently. It doesn't take that long to get some health back, usually. I mean, you don't want to play extremely sloppy, but, there's definitely some leniency there. Here, even if you just shoot down in the spikes with your dash, you'll probably get more health back even if you take, a hit. So I still think it's worth getting them even though they're in the spikes. I play kind of sloppy through these areas, but, it's good enough. So yeah, just take out these heads. Then you can hit the button and open the gate. I think there's in one of those paths there's a maybe it's not here because there is a few alternate little paths where you can get some health back, but it may be coming up. I don't know if it was in that area. Yeah, see this path you get like a little stake and it gives you all your health back. That's an optional area, though. You don't have to go down there, but it's worth breaking those things and going in there to get that stake. That way, you could at least, if you played kind of sloppy, you can have full health, at least, from, in this part. I believe this little middle area is optional, too, but you'll get some items. Some worthless items. I mean, you'll get some gems, which you don't really need. And the health you don't need because you just got the stake, so, I mean, it's kind of a waste. But so just break this barrier and then you'll go to the next little area. There's a flame sword up here and some gems, so maybe worth getting. I actually ended up getting a 1-up from the gems. It gives you a little like roulette style thing. When you collect enough of them, it kind of like a slot machine type of thing, and sometimes you'll get free lives or health and various things. But yeah, same shit here. Just kill these heads for the gate. I think there's a checkpoint after this. Yeah, whenever you go through the mouth, I believe it's a new checkpoint if you lose a life. Here you got to go to the left and break through these things. Because there's a button you got to press to open that gate on the right. But yeah, pretty easy. Remember, you're invincible during your dash attack or if you spin in place, so you can utilize that. So yeah, after dashing twice and killing that guy, then you just hit the button and now you can go out to the right. For these guys, I usually just skip them because they take a lot of hits and I don't see the point in killing them all anyway. Because I can get some of my health back, you know, in these areas, so it's not really too much of an issue. I was trying to get that apple, but sometimes it's easy to hit a diagonal instead. You end up going all over the fucking place. This part's a lot easier than it looks. All you got to do is follow the trail of the gems and just aim your launch in those diagonal angles. That, you know, that's all you got to do. Just follow the gems. That thing one hit kills you, but if you follow the gems, you won't get hit by it. Initially, I got one hit killed by it because I didn't know how they wanted me to move through there. But it's very simple. Just follow the trails of gems. You can get some health and some gems and shit up there. So, you know, it's probably worth messing around in there. And now you'll get your next checkpoint. After you dash through here, this part's very easy. You just have to be a little patient. You want to make sure that those openings are going to line up before you dash. And you don't want to ride one of those if it doesn't look like it's going to line up. Like, see here, there's not enough space for it to come down. So you want to make sure. See, now is the time to go in because now all the openings are going to line up. You don't want to get crushed on the top of the bottom of the screen. You know, the bottom you'll fall through and die. So you don't want to like dash through when it's too low, and you know you want to do it when the gaps are in the middle. See, if you go in there like that, you'll die. At least I did when I tried to do that because I was being impatient. But if you just wait, it's extremely easy. You'll see when it lines up. See, now it's going to line up. And you can dash right through the middle gap. So that's all you got to do. See, trying to go through there would, you know, be deadly. But now you can ride it up. And now that it's in the middle, you can get through. For these, you just really have to, you know, I just dash diagonally up at them as they're shooting at me and just rapidly do that. And you'll dodge it because you'll be invincible during the dash. So, you know, if you time it right, you don't have to take too much damage or, you know, probably don't even have to get hit at all. But, so yeah, I get some health back there. I go back and get the apple. But yeah, for the most part, I skip the guys that are not in my way. So my main objective here is just to take out these heads and, you know, so the button comes and I can release the gate and open the gate. So that's why I ignored the other enemies. I just killed the ones that were directly in my way. There's really no sense fighting all the enemies that you come across. So now you're at the boss room. And it can be a little tricky at the end. But you have to aggressively dash these guys in the body. These ones you just have to hit them in the body somewhere. So just if you aggressively dash them diagonally in straight dashes, you can kill them pretty fast. You get a stake there. A lot of times when you kill one of them, you'll get some health back. You'll get like there'll be a fruit or something where their body breaks through. So look for that. Also, I'll recommend that if you can, save a stake at the end for the main boss. And I'll show you what I mean. Because you can actually save the food item for the final part if you don't need it. But yeah, stay up on that part with the conveyors and just dash the shit out of his body. See, he left an apple where his body broke through, so you're going to want to look for those. Also, if you walk too fast, the guys kind of appear quickly and it's easy to walk into them, which happens to me a lot. So, you know, if you want to be more careful, you can kind of inch the screen a little slower and not get hit by that. I just tend to rapidly attack these guys and not really dodge a lot of their moves, because I don't really find it necessary. But yeah, get that apple after his body breaks through that area and leaves it behind. And really, as long as you just focus on hitting that body again and again, you know, you should be fine. See, now there's a stake that gets left behind, but see, I missed it. I accidentally missed this stake. I actually wanted to get it because I didn't think it would stay for the actual fight, but the stake actually stays up there. So, you know, if you have good health, don't get the stake until you're down to like your last heart or something. That way you can get the most out of the fight. So, you know, just wait to the end and then you can go up and get the stake. There's also an apple on the left gap. Left of the stake at the top. But yeah, same thing here. You know, if you time it better than I did, you know, at least you won't get hit by the sparks, but I was just being sloppy. But you can pretty much aggressively attack it, especially if you have that stake left over. I found the second form to be kind of hard because sometimes I found him harder to dodge. But for some reason, it didn't seem like he took as many hits as usual, and then he just somehow died, which I don't even know how that happened, but maybe I did hit him enough. I don't know. I remember him taking more hits when I was practicing, but I might be wrong. This guy, I think you have to hit him in the head. So, perfect time to hit him in the head is when he's upside down, like as you see me just dashing into it. I mean, you will take some hits doing it like that, but if you have some of this extra health, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. See, now he just died, which was weird to me. I mean, maybe I did hit him enough, but when I was practicing, I remember having to hit him a lot more. But, you know, I wasn't counting it, so maybe I got more hits in than I thought. But yeah, now you're at the final bosses. So for this first guy, you can bounce him in the air at least twice and get a combo in. That's what I figured out anyway. I didn't see the guy in the video doing it, but when I played, that's what I ended up doing. So I would recommend not trying to use your dash attack on this guy, even though I've heard that recommended. I like just using the sword. And see how I was able to bounce him like 3 times in a row? I recommend going for that method, and I find him very easy when I did that. I mean, it takes a little bit of timing, but, you know, I thought it was very easy to do. And so he died fast like that, so that's what I recommend doing. And then the next form is the final form if you didn't collect the swords. I wasn't collecting the swords, so I didn't get to fight the extra form of the last boss, which was fine with me. I like when the game ends, so I just like beating shit, you know. But this guy's real easy when you know what to do. I think I may have died maybe I died once or twice on him, but that was about it. It only took me 10 minutes to beat this section with the two bosses. So it wasn't difficult. Whenever you see him sucking in those particles, that's when you hit him. So just keep that in mind. Just dash the shit out of him. Whenever you see him doing this with the lightning, just stay all the way to the right, and the lightning will never touch you. It's a safe spot. So you can just stand here like a fucking asshole. The left side may be safe too, but I just stay on the right. I guess maybe either corner, but I know the right is safe. So same thing, just dash the shit out of him when he's sucking in these particles. This is the hardest part. It can be tricky to dodge all these things. I found somewhat of a safe spot in this middle of this door here and just spin. It seems like if you position yourself right, you know, you won't get hit by them. But then I tried that again for the second wave of meteors, and it didn't seem to work. So I can't say that that's a perfect method, you know, a safe method or anything. But that's what I ended up doing. It was good enough to beat this boss. So, I mean, it's not that hard. For this part, I don't know how to completely avoid this suction that he's doing. But, see, I tried to keep dashing, but it wasn't good enough. So maybe I probably fucked up something. But this is annoying when he does this, because now it switches roles. Now you're the last boss. And now the Rocket Knight is defeating you. And you lose health for that too, so it's kind of annoying. So what you need to do is, what I did is, you want to try to hit him with a meteor by positioning yourself the right way. And you have a dash you can kind of do, see, like that. But you want to line it up so you hit him with the meteor, and then immediately use the suction move, where it shows that warp, that circular warp thing, and suck him in while he's stunned. And that's what you have to do, and then you'll get out of that. Otherwise, I don't know if you'll ever escape out of that segment. So that's how you end it. The 3 buttons have 3 different attacks for that phase, so you'll have to mess around with the buttons and see what they do. But yeah, same thing here, just stay in the right corner. And now, every time he does one of his little phases, then he'll be doing his suction thing where you can hit him. Whenever he does his wave of attacks. He'll just keep repeating that. Now he does this thing again, which is the hardest to dodge, to me. I try that similar method, but I don't know if I may have been positioned a little bit off, because I think I was fucking it up. I think it probably would have worked if I didn't, like, move around so much. You know, I was trying to stay in one place, but I got fucked up. But now I think this ends the fight. I mean, it's not like he takes that many... You don't have to survive that many waves to kill him, so it's pretty fucking easy. Yeah, thanks for watching. I should have up the... I'm going to try to get up the Castlevania run fairly soon. I'm probably going to use save and load states for that one, since I've beaten that game before legit. You know, there's no sense in enduring all the penalties. I'll probably just make save states at some of the checkpoints just to shorten the run, so I can do it quicker and put up the, a tutorial video. Thanks for watching.